Welcome back to the channel, everybody. You're watching The Real Frey G, and on today's episode, I'm making you guys pasta aglio e olio. Alright everybody, so pasta aglio e olio is a very simple dish. It's super fast to make, really cheap to make, and it's great for the summertime right now because it's got a lot of fresh flavors in it. So classically, aglio e olio, as it says in the name, is olive oil and garlic. So in this dish, I'm obviously incorporating those, but I'm adding a couple more things in here like fresh chilies, parsley, lemon, a little bit of Parmesan to make this dish as complete as it can be. So I'm going to show you guys a couple techniques of how to make the sauce at the very end and my thought process in how we're plating this final dish, and I hope you guys learn a few things along the way. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe so you guys don't miss out on any of my future videos. And if you guys want to see more pasta recipes like this, please comment below. See you guys afterwards. Bye. So like I said, today we're going to be making aglio e olio pasta. So basically what that is just garlic and olive oil. The pasta I'm going to be using today is called capellini. Some of you may have heard it being called angel's hair pasta. It's basically just a spaghetti, but as you can see, it's a very, very fine spaghetti. So what this is going to do is allow a lot of that sauce and that olive oil to get trapped in when we end up serving it on the plate. So I've got my water boiling here. We're going to add in some salt to it. Like I said before, you want to make sure this is almost like seawater, right? So add in our salt. And then let our pasta go in and make sure you separate it out. Just keep an eye on it for a bit. You want to just make sure all that pasta gets in there. And this pasta, because it is so thin, should only take 3 or 4 minutes to cook all the way through. While that's cooking, we're going to get all the ingredients ready for the sauce. So this pasta is extremely simple. We've only got 4 or 5 ingredients that go into this, and that's what makes it such a cheap alternative for dinner. We're going to go in with the garlic, parsley, chili, lemon, olive oil, and of course salt and pepper. So to begin, I'm going to start off with these 5 cloves of garlic. Again, this pasta is called aglio e olio, so we got to make sure the garlic is there and present. So I'm going in with 5 cloves. Now, if you're not a big fan of garlic or don't want to use as much, you could definitely lessen it, but I highly recommend having all this in here. So I'm not going to cut this super small. I'm just going to cut it very thin, just like pieces like this, right? And what that's going to do, it's going to toast really nicely in that olive oil, and we're going to get these little crispy garlic chips throughout the dish. Okay, so garlic's all sliced up. Just going to leave it on the side here for now. Then we're going to go with our chilies. So traditionally this pasta is actually done with dried chili flakes. I really want the fresh flavor of the fresh chili, so we're going to use this instead. I'm going to go in with about half of this red chili. Obviously, if you like it spicier, go in with more, but I think half should suffice for this dish. And then finally, I'm going to just chop up this parsley here. We're going to cut this not super fine, but again, not like full leaves in the dish, because this is just going to be used to finish it all up at the very end. And that's it. I'm going to save the lemon for the very end of the dish. And right now, we're going to take the pasta off, and we're going to get up to the next part. Okay. So the pasta is now al dente. Again, not overcooked, just before it's at the point where it's fully cooked. I'm going to take this off. What I am going to do is save some of the pasta water, and we're going to use that to make the sauce. Okay, so in a high-sided pan here, I'm going to go in with olive oil. Now, this is going to look like a lot of olive oil, but unfortunately, this is how much has to go in. It is the pasta style. So we're just going to make sure we coat the entire bottom of the pan. And then from here, we're going to throw in all of our garlic. So I've got the pan at a medium-low heat right now. And what we're doing the reason why we're doing that, we don't want the garlic to burn. We want this to lightly toast. So it's going to come up, and you're going to start seeing the brown appearing on the garlic. That's when we're starting to add in the pasta and all the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so as you can see here, the garlic is just starting to brown, and the olive oil is starting to bubble. So at this point, we're not ready to put the pasta in yet. What I am going to throw in is these red chilies. So what it's going to do now is just perfume all that olive oil and the garlic. And at the same time, we'll put a very small pinch of salt in here. And what that's going to do is help release all those oils and flavors out of the garlic and the chili. Just give a nice little, make sure all the oil is touching all the chili pepper and all the garlic. And see, we can already see the garlic has gone nice and toasted brown. At this point now I'm going to turn the heat down to basically as low as I can get it. And we're going to start adding our pasta in. Make sure you're mixing this vigorously. Just watch out because it is hot oil. Make sure we're tossing this pasta all the way through. Now obviously because you strained it, it's going to be a little clumpy together, but all that olive oil is going to help break it up. And then like I said before, we reserved some of that pasta water. This is also going to help separate the pasta a bit. I'm putting about, say, a 1/4 cup of this pasta water in. Give it a good toss. And what that's doing is that starch from the pasta water and the olive oil that's already in the pan, it's creating a very fine sauce in here. So at this point now, all the olive oil is in here, chilies and garlic have been mixed through. I have the heat down to basically off. I'm going to put in the rest of the parsley in here. We're going to throw in some lemon. And now to get as much lemon in here as possible, I'm going to go with a microplane here and zest the lemon. We're going to zest one whole lemon in here. And then we're going to cut off, I'd say about half of the lemon. Just one of these cheeks here like this. All right, and give it a good spray all the way through. That's just gonna make everything in here pop really nicely. Add in some cracks of black pepper. Another little pinch of salt to finish it all. And then we go for the final mix and toss up. You can already smell that garlic and that chili and the parsley coming in through here. It's beautiful. Make sure you get all of that on the outside. You don't want to miss any of it. So, at this point now, it's time to plate. Okay, so we're going to start plating. If you guys remember from my last pasta video, we're going to plate it in the same way I showed you last time. So, we're going to try and get as much of the pasta on this tongue as possible. We're just going to spin and spin and spin until we get a nice tube here. And just release it. Keep that shape. A nice beautiful amount of pasta now. Got some parsley over top here. Got a couple of these red chilies. I'm just going to place in and around the dish. Just for some color. Just to remind everybody what's in here. And then a little bit of olive oil. With a little bit of grana padano. You don't have to use this, but I just think it adds a nice flavor to the rest of the dish. And that right there is your Aglio E Olio pasta. Alright guys, the one we've both been waiting for. I'm going to jump into this. So I'm fancy. I like to use a spoon and fork when I'm eating pasta. Just tries to get as much of a bite as possible. We won't go with the normal huge bite that I usually go with. I promise you the small one's still going to pack as much punch. And this is why I love Italian cooking. You know, we don't use a lot of ingredients in this, but everything has come out and is singing so well in this dish. You can taste that toasted garlic, the fire of the chilies, and the lemon zest, lemon juice, and that Parmesan just at the very end. Like I said, you don't need to add it, but it just adds an extra depth of, you know, creaminess, and obviously that sharpness adds to all of this and just works really well together. I highly recommend making this dish if you guys are in a rush. You know, you saw it only took about 15 minutes to make this. The longest part of this thing is making the water boil for your pasta. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe so you guys don't miss out on any of the other future videos. And, you know, please go back and look at my other pasta video. I did an arrabbiata sauce and a cacio e pepe sauce. All three of these pastas right now are great to have in your repertoire. And obviously go look at the rest of the library too to get any other inspiration for anything you want to make for dinner. Until next time, guys, dinner is Freddy. See ya.